Hello everybody, I just wanted to quickly show you this. I've got a new fork slider from Dragonfly, only the one because they haven't got the left hand one, they haven't got stock of the other one yet. But he sent me what he's got, he sent me this one. So this is a left hand fork slider for early bantam in stainless steel. And there have been a couple of comments on the forum, the Bantam forum, about, well, stainless steel will be no good because it's too soft and it will bend and so on and so on. So I thought, well, we'll get some and see what they're like. Well, okay, so we can see what they're like. Just a minute, let's get this tape measure. The outer dimensions are cool. So this is stainless steel, and the original one, of course, is a steel tube with chrome plating on it. This is my left hand one. You can see this is, I don't know if you can see this, you've got this scuffing going on here, and there's some more up the top in here, there, and I don't know if you can see that there, and on the front there, where the chrome is just starting to disappear. Because this is where the two bushes are, there's bronze bushes, there's one there and there's one there, so they're constantly rubbing, and this, the front of this gets it the worst on the bottom one, and it tends to be the rear of the leg gets it worst on the bronze bush at the top. So this is, you know, it needs to be replaced. This is not so bad, it's nice and smooth and it will work, but it needs to be replaced. The right hand one is worse than this, and it's got corrosion in the middle where the chrome is starting to come off, but again it will just about work, but it needs to be replaced. So what we can say at the outset is that they both weigh the same. I've weighed them, they're 700 grams each, so we've got 13 3/4, so the same length. These plates at the bottom exactly the same, identical. They're both hollow. This, on the original one, it seems that the hole in the top seems to go down about 40mm and then stops. I'm not quite sure how that works, but obviously this is an insert of some sort, as this is. Anyway, I tried to find out what is the thickness of the tube wall, and to do that I have to, so I use my micrometer, and measuring this one, you can actually do it, but I don't know if you can see this. Can you see there's like a sandwich of, so the tube has been squashed, but there's an insert inside it as well. There's another smaller diameter tube put inside, and that's been squashed to give the overall thickness, and then this of course has been welded on the outside, and it turns out that the thickness of this is about 2mm. So this is like a 2mm wall tube. I did the same with the original. Again, I don't know if you can see it, but it seems to me that this is much thinner. This is 1mm wall tube, so this tubing is 2mm thick wall, and this, the original, is ordinary steel, 1mm thick with chrome plating over the top. So this is twice as thick as that. They're both the same weight, but to be honest, I can't see this bending any time in a hurry, unless you were going to run the bike into a brick wall or something like that, and even then you've got to do it pretty hard, and then you'd have much more things to worry about than whether this is bent or not, I think. So I've got no problems putting this on, which I shall do in a minute. I might as well put it on. I've got it. I've got to remember, of course, to put this is my bit of rubber tube. This is actually 8mm fuel hose, which gives it an outer diameter of about 14.5–15mm, which goes inside the spring. And apparently it's called, what they call it, rubber damper or something like that, but it's not really, it's not a damper really, it's really it's what do you call it, it's there's a bump stop. So if you can imagine, that's inside the tube, it's actually about there, and it gives you about an inch of movement of compression before this end starts to compress the hose. So it's kind of like, it seems to me, it's kind of like progressive springing. You know, the springs will compress down so far, and then it will start trying to squash the tube. Phone keeps going off. It trots that way, and of course it can't. It will try to escape out sideways, but it can't because it's confined inside the spring. But it's a kind of a bump stop, so that it, as far as I can tell, it stops the spring coils from binding on each other, banging up against each other. So anyway, so we'll pop that in. Right, so like that, and then don't put that one back on, that's the old one, and we'll see if this, get out of the way, see if this will screw on. Just do. Needs a bit of persuasion. It goes on easy on the other side, but there it goes. Okay. Oh, there's a tiny bit of swarf in there, I see. Okay, so there you are. There it is. There's our top end with the stud, and we've got our tube in there, and it gives it a tube. I don't know if you can see that. It's a wee bit of daylight in there. It's about an inch or so. So the spring will compress that much, and then it will start squashing the rubber hose, or trying to. And Bob's your uncle. That's that done. So yeah, I'm going to put that on in a minute, and then that's that job done.